Fruit is not something that I go out of my way to find, buy, or eat. It's not that I don't like it, it's just not one of those things that I crave or anything like that. I had some coworkers over for like a tea luncheon thing or whatever, and I don't know if it's from the countries that they're from, but apparently part of African culture, so to speak, is to bring fruit. Again, I don't know if it's just my coworkers or if it's a widespread thing, but so they showed up. I made a bunch of chicken quesadillas. I made a bunch of cucumber sandwiches. There's something else too. There was a lot of food, but they show up and they have half of a watermelon, 2 bags, 1 bag of oranges, 1 bag of mixed fruit, and then there are bananas. So like, this whole thing is bananas. It was a very nice gesture of them to bring it with, but now I'm stuck with all this fruit, and I don't eat a lot of fruit. So, fruit, friend or foe? I'm just trying to think of how to explain this. So fruit tastes good. It has fiber, it has sugar, it has, well, in some cases, water. A lot of it. It's good for you. The only problem is trying to figure out how to measure your fruit. This is a rather small navel orange. Like, I don't have big hands, so this fits in my hand. It's the right size for throwing a ball. Other oranges, like if you go in like during the peak of growing season, I don't know what that is for oranges, but I know there are some times of the year you go into Walmart or your locally owned grocery store or whatever, and then you'll find other oranges where they're like a softball. It's a slight exaggeration, but same with bananas. So according to that Calorie King app, I've talked about it before, it's great with measuring things that are pre-made. With fruit, it also helps, but playing around on it, it has for fruit different sizes. So I looked up just banana, just did a search for 1 banana, and it came back with like 14 grams. And that can't be right. I remember them being like 2 slices of bread worth of carbs. And I was fiddling around in there, and they have small, medium, or large. I have never seen a banana small or medium. I have only seen them this size, which is, I'm assuming, a large. And according to that size scale, is about 30, what did I write down? 32 grams of carbs, which makes more sense. I had a banana for breakfast today. I bolused my insulin before I started my eggs, and then I made my espresso. And by the time I ate my banana, I had like 2 arrows just going straight up on my pump because my levels are going up very quickly. It's healthy, it's good for you, it has potassium and all that stuff, and I know different foods affect people very differently. I can eat an orange and this just coasts. So like a medium orange is about 15. If you get one of the bigger ones that are like softball sizes, they're gonna be a little bit bigger. And I have no scientific facts to back me up on this, but all fruit has its growing seasons. So if you get fruit and it's, we'll just say like 1 month you get it, it's really sweet and juicy, and you go back like 2 months later and it's woody and there's not a lot of juice in it. It's just, it's trying to be a fruit, but it can't be it. That really only happens for me with oranges, but the sweeter one is gonna have a little bit more sugar in it just because that's when it's supposed to be at its peak, which also throws your numbers off a little bit. That's where I was going with that. Apples, there are a lot of different types of apples, especially if you go to like places. I know New York has a bunch of farmers that do trial and error, not crossbreeding. It's where they take the branch from one tree and then they splice it onto another tree. There's a term for it, I can't think of it right now. Anyway, but you get a bunch of different types of apples. When I do rarely buy apples, I get the Fuji apples. There's something else that's similar to it. It's like a pink lady. I don't know. But Fuji's are 17 grams for the whole apple. But again, that's for a medium apple. Small apples, large apples, it's a reference thing. Golden Delicious. I have a hard time eating these. I can cook with or bake with them, but they're not as sweet. These are, I wrote this down, 15. Same with Granny Smith apples. So these two would make a wonderful pie together, but just eating them like this, 15 and 15. I don't know how much crab apples are. They grow very well around here, and you only eat them like 2 bites and then you spit it out and you chuck the rest of it in the woods. Those are very tart. I don't know how many carbs are in them because you only take a few bites. I feel like I'm going on a long rant here. Watermelon. So my coworkers brought half a watermelon over, which gave me 2 containers like this, and I've been eating on this for a while. So I am not really comfortably certain with how to measure this because you have all of this water. Okay, that's what watermelon was originally historically grown for, was for water in the desert. Fun fact. But it's sweet, and for 1 cup it is 12 grams. So that's good. I don't have a problem with eating watermelon at work. And I know with pineapples, like if you flip them upside down or right side up, the sugar migrates to the lowest point. I don't know if that happens with watermelon. That could be a pineapple exclusive, I'm not sure. But with watermelon, when you're measuring it, you kind of have to eyeball it because you're not going to be able to just scoop up like, 2 spoonfuls worth of watermelon and say that's an exact measurement. I don't have any with me because I have very much a plenty of fruit. Strawberries are my favorite fruit though. They're healthy, they naturally whiten your teeth, they have a lot of annoying little seeds, but 1 average strawberry is 0.5 grams of carbs. So for 2 strawberries, you get 1 gram. So it's very, very carb friendly, especially like if you want to have it with cereal or with milk or cream poured over it on toast. Strawberries are very good. They're slightly more expensive, but that's a whole nother decision planning area. But this seems like a vague topic to talk about, but I am stuck with all this fruit. And I love banana bread. It's starting to get ready for banana bread, but I love it. I'm lazy with making it though, because mashing bananas makes my gag reflex kick in, and banana bread kicks my blood sugar's butt. So I think that's all I have to say on fruit. I should try and bring some of this watermelon to work, but people don't eat that much of it. So I feel like there was something else I was gonna say and I don't remember. There's a bunch of other different types of fruits too, like mangoes, guavas, nectarines, all that stuff. Everybody's different, so fruit's gonna affect you differently. Like I said, bananas I have a hard time with. Oranges and watermelon, I don't really see an impact with, but, and a lot of that too is just playing around. A lot of it's seasonal. I know Halloween's coming up, in 2 months, but I love carameled apples, like taking a section of an apple and then dipping it in caramel. Not a wise decision, but it tastes good. Yeah. So if anybody else knows anything about fruit that I don't, let me know. If you want fruit sent to you, let me know. This has been almost a week since I've gotten this, so it needs to get plowed through because I feel guilty for throwing this away. There's nothing wrong with it, but until next week.